Is Russia mediating to resolve the conflict between Saudi Arabia and UAE? President Putin has sent a New Year message to Saudi leadership, according to the Kremlin. Additionally, Russian ambassador to Saudi Arabia, Sergei Kozlov, met Riyadh's Vice Minister of Foreign Affairs, Walid El-Khariji, in Riyadh. According to Saudi government statement, the two sides reviewed bilateral relations and discussed the latest regional and international developments, as well as the efforts exerted to address them. Saudi Arabia bombed Yemen's port city of Mukalla over what it dubbed as a shipment of weapons for a separatist force there that arrived from the United Arab Emirates. Footage showed the aftermath of the strike, with smoke billowing from the port while some buildings were left damaged. Riyadh directly linked the UAE to the separatists' recent advances in Yemen and warned Abu Dhabi its actions were extremely dangerous.
It is deeply regrettable that it has been conclusively proven that the United Arab Emirates has pressured and directed the Transitional Council to undermine the state's authority and rebel against it through military escalation, attacking the positions of the armed forces, and repeated assaults on Hadramaut tribes and innocent civilians. It was also confirmed that the United Arab Emirates proceeded to ship 2 vessels from Fujairah port, fully loaded with weapons, combat vehicles, and military equipment, and then unloaded them at Al-Mukalla port without proper authorization, with the explicit objective of supplying the forces of the Transitional Council. In an escalatory move against the security and stability of Hadramaut and Al-Mahra governorates, which has proven to be a continuation of a systematic operation for years. While we appreciate the previous role of the United Arab Emirates and its efforts as a participating member in the Saudi-led coalition to support legitimacy, its role has unfortunately become directed against our great people, explicitly supporting rebellion and fueling internal strife, which threatens our security and stability.
Mukalla is situated in Yemen's Hadramaut governorate, which the council seized in recent days. The port city is some 480 kilometers, 300 miles, northeast of Aden, which has been the seat of power for anti-Houthi forces after the rebels seized the capital, Sana'a, in 2014. The United Arab Emirates is stepping back from Yemen after a sharp ultimatum from Saudi Arabia, a move that signals rising tensions between two of the Gulf's key powers. In a stunning development, the UAE has announced it will withdraw its forces from Yemen following a Saudi-led strike and a direct call from Yemen's Presidential Council to leave the country within 24 hours. The UAE's Defense Ministry issued a statement via its state-run WAM news agency, saying the decision comes in light of recent developments and their potential repercussions on the safety and effectiveness of counterterrorism operations. However, the ministry did not give a timeline for the withdrawal. Earlier Tuesday, Yemen's Presidential Council declared a state of emergency following a Saudi strike on the southern ports of Mukalla. Riyadh says the strike targeted an arms shipment coming from the UAE, allegedly destined for Yemeni separatists. The Saudi military said the shipment, arriving from Fujairah on the UAE's eastern coast, had disabled tracking devices and unloaded large quantities of weapons and vehicles for the Southern Transitional Council, a UAE-backed separatist group. The UAE denied any weapons were involved, but admitted to transferring vehicles. The Foreign Ministry called for restraint and wisdom, rejecting allegations that it fueled the Yemeni conflict. In response, Yemen's Saudi-backed Presidential Council issued a 72-hour ban on border crossings and demanded that UAE forces leave within 24 hours. The security pact between Yemen and Abu Dhabi has also been canceled. Saudi Arabia called the shipment an imminent threat and warned the transfer could destabilize the region. The attack, carried out at night to minimize civilian harm, underscores Riyadh's hard line against UAE-backed operations in Yemen. The move highlights the growing rifts between the UAE and Saudi Arabia, with each backing opposing sides in Yemen's complex civil war. UAE government spokesperson Afra al-Hameli emphasized Tuesday that Abu Dhabi affirms its total rejection of the allegations related to fueling the Yemeni conflict. This as Yemen makes big charges.
Unfortunately, it has been definitively confirmed that the United Arab Emirates has been pressuring and directing the Transitional Council to undermine the state's authority and rebel against it through military escalation, attacking the positions of the armed forces, and repeated assaults on Hadramaut tribes and innocent civilians. It was also confirmed that the United Arab Emirates shipped 2 vessels from Fujairah port loaded with weapons, combat vehicles, and military equipment, and unloaded them in Mukalla port without authorization, with the aim of supplying the Transitional Council forces in an escalatory move against the security and stability. My governorates Hadramaut and Al-Mahra, which has become clear, is a continuation of systematic work for many years. While we appreciate the previous role of the United Arab Emirates and its efforts as a participating member in the Saudi-led coalition to support legitimacy, its role has unfortunately become directed against our great people, explicitly supporting rebellion and fueling internal strife, which threatens our security and stability. O great Yemeni people, I assure you all, and especially our people in the southern governorates, that the state remains strong, by God, then by you, by your awareness, by the heroes of the armed forces and security, and by the support of our loyal brothers in the coalition to support legitimacy led by the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. We reiterate the call to the leadership of the Transitional Council to exercise reason, prioritize the supreme interests of the Yemeni people, and lean towards the option of peace, and to accelerate the withdrawal of its forces from the governorates of Hadramaut and Al-Mahra unconditionally.
With UAE forces preparing to withdraw, analysts say the Saudi-UAE split could reshape the dynamics of the war in Yemen. The Southern Transitional Council may lose crucial support, while Riyadh strengthens its grip on the Presidential Council. The international community is watching closely as tensions between 2 Gulf powerhouses escalate, with Yemen caught in the middle.